Na, szervusztok, sziasztok, itt vagyunk, néha játszunk. Ma volt egy nagyobb stream, ugye így nyár végi szabadságolás és egyebek mellett működő stream, és nekiestünk a főszálnak, miután befejeztük az orgyilkos klánnak a főszál küldetését. És már csak ilyen mennyudó gyilkod meg típusok maradtak, aminek semmi értelme nincsen. Úgyhogy csak időhúzás. Úgyhogy megyünk a főszál alatt, ahol azt az öreget szépen megtaláltuk. Sodrás alatt a tolvaj C alatti csatorna rendszerbe, és őt nagyon keresik a elfek, ugye azok az nagyon nemes elfecskék, akiknek voltunk a... hogy mondják ezt? Embézi. Na, szóval ott. És... itt voltunk! Emlékeztek, mennyit szenvedtünk? Mire ezen átjutottunk? Tudom, hol vagyok. Na, szóval a követő miatt szenvedtünk rengeteget, ha emlékeztek. Szóval és őt keresték, mert ő sok mindent tud a sárkányokról, mert senki nem tud semmit, hogy miért jöttek. Azt a mindenit, várjál, ide, tényleg. Azt nézd meg. Az óriási fej, és igen, ide bejutottunk, és akkor innen nem volt, hogy most mi legyen. Hát az lesz, hogy innen majd most megmondja az öreg, hogy mi legyen. Na, úgyhogy így nagyjából nagyon bénán, de összefoglaltuk, hogy mi a helyzet.
I was always taught to avoid these types of things. I think I see why now.
Your blood. Look here. You see how the ancient blades revered in Cyrodiil?
Itt kellene nekem egy vérpecsét, azt mondja, akkor jól van. Igen, az életre kell, és kinyílik a fej.
There's no telling. Yes? What is it?
Na, talán egyébként tud erre válaszolni.
It's a prophecy, don't you see? Only a dragonborn can stop Alduin and avert the end of the world. But I don't yet know how you can stop him. The prophecy doesn't say. But Alduin's woe does. I hope.
Na. Jó, hát akkor menjünk el a falhoz, azt tudjuk meg, amit meg el kell tudni. A játékkal kapcsolatosan úgy vagyunk egyébként, hogy most egy kicsit haladunk előre a fő történetben, és vélhetően miután a legtöbb klánhoz meg egyébhez való történetszálakat már megismertük, egyedül oldalt nem választottunk, és farkas emberré nem váltunk, ugye ezt sokszor mondjuk. Ez utóbbi annyira nem az, hogy farkas emberré váljak, viszont oldalt szívesen választanék majd. Valószínűleg még majd valamelyik oldalnak a küldetés sorozatán végigmegyünk, ha lesz értelme. Na. Azt a várja, milyen fal ez itt. Azok a sárkányok rajta, sárkányok fújják a tüzet. Az is egy sárkány. Itt lovagok harcolna. Csak megérkeznek nem sokára. Micsoda hatalmas kandalló. Nem kandalló. Ez egy szoba. Azért nem sieti el az öreg.
Early second era Kabir sculpture.
Na nézzük, hát ha most ő értelmezze nekünk a falon lévő dolgokat.
Look, here is Open. This man who goes back to the beginning of time, when Alduin and the dragon cult ruled over Skyrim.
Alduin a sárkány ügy, aki felébreszti a többit.
Against the dragon lord, legendary dragon hall. Alduin's defeat is the centerpiece of the war. You see, here is fallen from the sky. The Nord Toms, masters of the voice, are arrayed.
So does it show how they defeated him? Isn't that why we're here?
Ah, patient. The Akaviri were not straightforward people. Everything is couched in animal, mythic symbols. Yes, yes. This here, coming from the mouths of the Nord heroes, this is the Akaviri symbol for shout. But there's no way to know what shout is meant.
You mean they used a shout to defeat Alduin? You're sure?
Lekiáltotta.
Presumably something rather specific to that. Or even Alduin himself. Remember,
Whoa.
this is where they recorded all they knew of Alduin.
So we're looking for a shout then. Damn it.
You ever heard of such a thing? A shout that can knock a dragon out of the sky?
Nem, de olyanról már hallottunk, akikvel át tudjuk venni felettük az uralmat.
But it seems we have no choice. If they had their way, you do nothing but sit up on their mountain with them and talk to the sky or whatever it is they do. The Greybeards are so afraid of power that they won't use it. Think about it. Have they tried to stop the Civil War or done anything about Alduin? No. And they're afraid of you, of your power.
Semlegesek maradnak.
There is no need to be afraid. Think of
A világ folyásában nem akarom
Do you
beleszólni.
think he'd have founded the Empire if he'd listened to the Greybeards? Only if you don't know how to use it. All the great heroes have had to learn to use their power. Those that shrank from their destiny. Well, you've never heard of them, have you? And there are the villains, those that misused their power. There's always a choice, and there's always a risk. But if you live in fear of what might go wrong, you'll end up doing nothing. Like the Greybeards up on their mountain.
Azt teszik, hogy nem teszek semmit. Csak hogy fordítsuk ki a dolgot.
Right. Good thing they've already let you into their little cult. Not likely they'd help Esbern or me if we came calling. We'll look around Skyhaven Temple and see what else the old blades might have left for us. It's a better hideout than I could have hoped for. Talos guard you.
Look here, in the third panel. The prophecy which brought the Akaviri to Tamriel in the first place, in search of the Dragonborn. Here are the Akaviri, the blades. You see their distinctive initials. Now they need their ancient mission fulfilled, as the last Dragonborn contends with Alduin at the end of time. Are you paying attention, Delphine? You might learn something of our own history.
Pont erre figyelt a csaj. Inkább magyarázott nekünk. Én azért fölnézek erre, nézd csak. Hops, ez itt kivezet valahova, máshova. Nézd csak. Olyan, minthogyha ezt jelenleg ilyen szín égmenedék templom. Így felkerült. Valószínűleg most már kinyitódott erről az oldalról, és azt mondja, akkor menjünk el szürke szakálóakhoz. Menjünk el. Jó, de figyelj, ha már úgyis ott van az a fej, azt kettős szüntessük már meg ottan. Jó, vegyünk részt egy ívó versenyen. Az ott még úgy, ahogy megy. A másik, meg melyik kohós, jó. Az, amit nem fogunk. Kérjünk már egy jóslatot. Ez az öreg lány szerintem, ha jól emlékszem.
Come to a love of her reading, did you? Token, you say? Let me see. Oh, goodness me. You're a friend of Gabriella's, then. Well, I guess we both know why you're here. Well, yes, I surely can. It's not something I do lightly, mind you, and it's not as specific as you might want, but yes, I will do this for you. Please, relax. Free your mind. Yes, that's it. Your destiny is dark. Oh, yes, so dark. But much of it has been fulfilled. You have found sanctuary and the comforting words of a mother's love. And you have companionship, a child of night and a stalker of the sands. Together you are a family. Wait, there's something else. A potential for adventure and wealth. It is a ruin ripe for the plunder. Deep wood, redoubt, far to the northwest. It is the last resting place of an assassin of old. A dark brother who bequeaths his ancient earthly possessions to you. No, that is all. Now, please. I find myself very weary all of a sudden.
Hát... mit mondjak, elég homályos volt. Keresd meg a réidők orgyilkosát. Ja, hogy ez alatt mit értett? Ki tudja. Viszont gyorsan akkor ezen az ívó versenyen részt veszünk. Kivel kell inni? Ezzel.
A few drinks, a few laughs, and a cop. Ha! We'll see about that. This is a special, very strong stuff. Let's get started. I'll start round one. Down the hatch. Your turn. One down, my friend, one down.
Ennyi volt, így ittunk is egyet. Igen. Mi lesz ennek a vége?
And how about you? So says you. I think I've hit my limit on these things. Tell you what, one more and you win the contest.
Na itt kezd izgalmas lenni.
Wow, you've really done it. The staff is yours.
Ez mi?
You know, you're a fun person to drink with. I know this great little place where the wine flows like water. We should head there. Hey, you don't look so good.
De hogy nem, nagyon jó gyíkfejem van.
Wake up. That's
Hoppa.
right. It's time to wake up, you drunken blasphemer. I see. So, you don't remember fondling the statuary then? I'm guessing you also don't remember coming in here and blathering incoherently about marriage or a goat. Which means you don't remember losing your temper and throwing trash all over the temple. Well, you were deep in your cups when you got here. You were ranting, but most of it was slurred. You said something about Rorikstead.
hol vagyunk?
I'm sorry. The Temple of the Belly is closed. You can receive the blessing.
Aha. Az úgy érdekes, hogy hogy kerültünk ide. Ilyen messzire. Ez érdekes, hogy hogy kerültünk ilyen messzire. Na jó, menjünk tovább aztán. Hát valami lepottyant az égből. Ja, az a tehén volt.
Hey, watch what you're doing!
Itt.
You've got a lot of nerve showing yourself in this town again. What do you have to say for yourself?
Mit csináltunk?
Sorry's not good enough. Not while my Gleda's still out there alone and afraid. You kidnapped her and sold her to that giant.
Ajjajjaj, ez hogy hívják? Másnaposok epizód?
You're damn right it does. I'll never breed another prize-winning goat like Gleda. And don't you think of coming back to Rorikstead until you get her back from that giant. You really don't remember stealing a goat and selling her to a giant? Are you thick? Go get her! At least she's bound to follow you back. You smell just like the fermented feed she likes. All right then.
Ajjaj, na, sikerült belefutnunk egy másnaposok epizódba. Nem baj, kell egy kis változatosság, ez legalább így humoros. Ezek szerint akkor az óriási munkkal viszont végeznem kell. Ó, szegény. Ugye nem azt akarod mondani, hogy egy sárkány jön nekünk. Délután vagy 4 sárkányt intéztünk el. menj el!
Mind yourself. Name's Ennis. You talked to Reldith yet? She's like a mother to me. You hear from the city?
Azt ott tartok, hogy ezt a sárkányt el kell intézni. De ez meresített sárkány. Hoppá. Aj. Hagyd azt a lovat. Hagyd a fekete lovacskámat. Úgy, eltáltost. Jó. Szóval ő megvolt. És ott csak a kecske kellene.
Reldith is the hardest working farmer in Rorikstead.
Amit persze nem akar nekem megadni. Itt a kecske, na gyere! Gyere kecske! Jó, hogy végre megjött. Gyere, gyere, itt a gazdi.
Need something? Need something? Gladder! I've not a scratch on
Na.
her. Happy day! I still can't figure out why you stole her. You left a note explaining it, but half of it was gibberish and the rest had mead spilled on it. Only bit I could make out was repaying Isolde in Whiterun, and even that's mostly scribbles. Guess you could try there. Until next time.
Akkor irány. Fehérvágta. Legalább innen indultunk.
What a curious city. It's so okay.
Várjál.
So, it's a fine day with you around.
It's not about the money, really. I wouldn't have given you the wedding ring on credit if you weren't so obviously in love. But if there isn't going to be a wedding, the least you can do is give the ring back. That was one of my best pieces. You went right out to give it to your fiancée. Don't you even remember where you left her? And after you told me that sweet story of how you met in Witchmist Grove, I can see why she left you.
Jegyesem, merre járhatunk?
You must have had a wild night if you can't remember that. But I suppose everyone gets the jitters before their wedding. And I did say you could take a bit of time paying me back. You said the ceremony was going to be at Morvenscar. Don't forget, you still owe me. Farewell. You know that?
Ez meg hol van? Hol is van? Hol is van? Ugye, így talán. Itt. Várjál. Aha. Igen. Igen, ez itt a látszik. A izé közelében. Széltető közelében. Biztos, hogy nekem ide be kell menni? Legyen. Az mindenkit elintéz. Nagyon keményen lovunk. Az brutálul nyomja. Nekünk meg be kell menni. Úgy látom, itt volt az mondja, hogy az esküvői. Nem hiszem, hogy esküvő lett volna. Nézzünk meg itt lent. Valakivel hall, gyeresszen már el. Oh. Ez mi? Hol vagyok? Ködös liget. Azt tényleg olyan, mint hogyha esküvő lenne. Opa!
You're here. I was beginning to think you might not make it. I thought you might not remember your first trip here. You had a big night. I think you've definitely earned the staff. Oh, the Hagraven feather and so on. You can throw all those out. You see, I really just needed something to encourage you to go out into the world and spread merriment. Yes? I am Sanguine, Daedric Prince of Debauchery. I know. How could I lie to you? Well, how could I trust you until we've shared a few drinks? But it wasn't long before I realized you'd make a more interesting bearer of my not-quite-holy staff than this waste of flesh. Let's be honest here. I don't always think my decisions through. But you're going places. Maybe a little influence from your old Uncle Sanguine could help adjust your course a bit. My pleasure. But I think it's time for you to go. No fun keeping you locked up in here with the staff.
Na, és akkor most visszakerültünk Fehérvágtába. Na jól van, hát akkor ez a kis másnaposok Skyrim verziója után menjünk föl magas toronyba. Úgyhogy menjünk be, hát ha Hát, ha itt tudnak nekünk mesélni ezekről a kiáltásokról további izgalmas dolgokat. Errefele lesz ott a nyíl. Csókolom.
Wind, guide you. We have felt the whisper of a word. Give me your map and I will show you where its echo can be found.
Forgó szél fog mélyen. Talált nekünk egy újat ezek szerint.
Where did you learn of that? Who have you been talking to? Yes. For matters of such gravity, we need to know where you stand.
A sajátomon.
Or who you stand with. The Blades, of course. They specialize in meddling in matters they barely understand. Their reckless arrogance knows no
Jó,
bounds.
kicsit kevesebb arrogancia, jó? Egyelőre a világ problémáját próbáljuk megoldani.
Have you learned nothing from us? Would you simply be a tool in the hands of the Blades to be used for their own
Az,
purposes?
hogy mindegyik a maga okosságát fújja.
No, no, of course not. Forgive me, Dragonborn. I have been intemperate with you. But heed my warning. The Blades may say they serve the Dragonborn, but they do not. They never have.
Na.
No, I cannot teach it to you, because I do not know it. It is called Dragonrend, but its words of power are unknown to us. We do not regret this loss. Dragonrend holds no place within the way of the voice. It was created by those who had lived under the unimaginable cruelty of Alduin's dragon cult. Their whole lives were consumed with hatred for dragons, and they poured all their anger and hatred into this shout. When you learn a shout, you take it into your very being. In a sense, you become the shout. In order to learn and use this shout, you will be taking this evil into yourself. But not Dragonrend. The knowledge of that shout was lost in the time
Hiányzik
before
belőlünk a
history
gyűlölet, mi?
began.
Az harag.
Perhaps only its creators ever knew it, but I am not the one to speak of it to you. Only Paarthurnax, the master of our order, can answer that question, if he so chooses. He is our leader. He surpasses us all in his mastery of the way of the voice. He lives in seclusion on the very peak of the mountain.
Ahol fúj a szél,
He
és
speaks to
egyelőre
us
nem
only
tudtunk tovább
rarely,
menni, mi?
and never to outsiders. Being allowed to see him is a great privilege. Only those whose voice is strong can find the path. We will teach you a shout to open the way to Paarthurnax.
Na jó, menjünk. Menjünk szavakat tanulni. Na megindult mindenki. Bírom a tempót. Tüp. Ráérnek. Mondhatod volna, hogy az udvarra menjek ki. Úgyhogy gyorsan lefutott odáig. Ja nem, én még csak ott jön. szeretnétek egy pindurit? Egy indurka pindurkát a lábatokat. Rengeteget segítene. Jaj. Istenem, ezt a ráérő bagást.
I will show you how to open the way. Look.
Ó, a körbe verje az összeset ide rakja.
You my understanding of clear sky. This is your final gift from us, Dragonborn. Use it well. Clear skies will throw away the mist, but only for a time. The path to Paarthurnax is perilous. Keep moving, stay focused on your goal, and you will reach the summit.
Na jó, lássuk ezt a magicot. Kiáltások. Én nem látom azt, aminek itt. Itt lennie kellene? Égderítés, kiáltás. Értem. Itt van. Ja, hogy meg is van tanulva. Ja. Szürkében kerestem, és ezért nem állt hirtelen nekünk ez. Azért nem volt ez így egyértelmű. Már ezt egyben meg is tanította neki. És a lelkeket is ráköltötte. Ez nagyon érdekes, ez az életerőcsapolás 3 verzióban. Az meg gondom felé lesz mindenkit, igen. Ezt érdekes, hogy egyszer se használtuk. Ez viszont jól jöhet meg. Na mindegy, oké, most egy párat kiosztottuk. Hol nehogy lássunk. Csak le akartunk nézni. Páratlan szépségű a táj. Azt akarom mondani, hogy ez a köd, ez fáj nekünk. De hát el tudunk hatolni rajta. Aha. Jó, oké, szükség lesz továbbra. Szükség neved állítsuk vissza. Kecske sokat. Oké, itt ez azért kell, hogy föl tudjunk menni. Hoppá! Tehát igaz ez a sárkányítás csak arra jó. Nem fogunk egy roldot csinálni magunkkal. Ugye senki nem oldottak komolyan. Kitisztítjuk, persze, hogy kitisztítjuk az utat. Egy picit fáj, de már túl is vagyunk rajta. Kiállunk a szikla szélére, azt a falu lent. Milyen szép az égbolt. Hoppá, jött szerelme, és úgy telébe nyomta. Van pontos célzás volt. Ez kisebb akkor fájdalmak, ezeket kibírjuk. Ez még nem kell kiabálni. Az a nagy fúvalat, hogy ez ne fújjon le, azt a minden. Ez jól néz ki, hogy így megyünk fölfele. Szépek a színek. Aha, az a következő. Most a kecske megmutatja, hogy ő ebből bele fog halni. Hát mi meg megyünk, kicsit rángatottuk a kamera egy sor, de kecskénk ott maradt. Aha. Várj, ez a sárkány.
Dremjolok, greetings, wundernik.
Ő maga egy sárkány. Nem arról volt szó, hogy ez egy öreg valaki?
Who are you? What brings you to my Strumach, my mountain?
Végig egy sárkány volt itt fönt.
I am as my father Akatosh made me, as are you, Dovahkiin. Tell me, why do you come here, Volan? Why do you intrude on my meditation?
Kellett volna félbeszakítani, oda sem mentem hozzá, te szakítottad félbe saját magadat.
Drem, patience. There are formalities which must be observed at the first meeting of two of the Dove. By long tradition, the elder speaks first.
Hát akkor te szólalt, de te szólaltál már.
My thum. Feel it in your bones. Match it if you are Dovahkiin.
Na lássuk. Oké. Hát jó, akkor tűzlehelet, aha. Van egy ilyen érzésem, hogy ettől még menőbb tüzet fogunk tudni. Ha ez a kívánságod.
Yes, Sosedo Vrostmul. The dragon blood runs strong in you. It is long since I had the pleasure of speech with one of my own kind. So, you have made your way here to me. No easy task for a jaw, mortal. Even for one of Dovahsos, dragon blood. What would you ask of me? Ah, I have expected you, Proda. You would not come all this way for Tinvak with an old Dova.
Beszélje már úgy, hogy nem keversz vele mindenféle idegen szó.
You seek your weapon against Alduin.
Úgy, igen.
Alduin Comate Teed. What else would you seek? Alduin and Dovahkiin return together.
Ja, hogy Aldu és én, mármint a sárkány vérűek, azok egyszerre.
Croesus, it cannot be known to me.
Aha. De nem ismeri a szót.
Jaw, mortals, created it as a weapon against the Dove, the dragons. Our Hadrime, our minds, cannot even comprehend its concepts. Drem, all in good time. First, a question for you. Why do you want to learn this thum?
Bruza, as good a reason as any. There are many who feel as you do, although not all. Some would say that all things must end, so that the next can come to pass.
De lehet újra indítani úgy, hogy a régi nem pusztul el.
This world is simply the egg of the next Kalpa, Lean Vokin. Would you stop the next world from being born? Paz, a fair answer. Rofus, maybe you only balance the forces that work to quicken the end of this world. Even we who ride the currents of time cannot see past time's end.
Nagy szavak, de kicsit tegyünk.
Those who try to
Nézem
hasten
egyébként,
the
ez a
end
jobb
may
oldali
delay
lent.
it. Those who
Erős
work to
szalva le
delay
van
the
törve.
end may bring it closer. But you have indulged my weakness for speech long enough, Croesus. Now I will answer your question.
Okay.
Do you know why I live here at the peak of the Monavin, what you name throat of the world? True, but few now remember that this was the very spot where Alduin was defeated by the ancient tongues.
Aha, ja, itt a legmagasabb hegyen.
Perhaps none but me now remember how he was defeated. Yes and no. Viknusni Karon. Alduin was not truly defeated either.
Így igaz, nagyon okos vagy. Én is erre jutottam, mint erre a következtetésre.
Defeat him. The Nords of those days used the dragon-rend shout to cripple Alduin, but this was not enough. Ok Mulag Unslad. It was the Kell, the Elder Scroll. They used it to cast him adrift on the currents of time. Not intentionally. Some hoped he would be gone forever, forever lost. Meye. I knew better. Tidbo Amativ. Time flows ever onward. One day he would surface. Which is why I have lived here. For thousands of mortal years, I have waited. I knew where he would emerge, but not when. How to explain in your tongue? The Dove have words for such things that Jaw do not. It is an artifact from outside time. It does not exist, but it has always existed. Rahwalan. They are fragments of creation. The Kele, Elder Scrolls as you name them, they have often been used for prophecy. Yes, your prophecy comes from an Elder Scroll. But this is only a small part of their power. Sofa Suyek. Time was shattered here because of what the ancient Nords did to Alduin. If you brought that kell, that elder scroll back here to the Tid Ahran, the time wound, with the elder scroll that was used to break time, you may be able to cast yourself back to the other end of the break. You could learn Dragonrend from those who created it. You have it. The kell, the elder scroll. Tidkrech Kalos. Time shudders at its touch. There is no question. You are doom-driven. Kogan Akatosh. The very bones of the earth are at your disposal. Go then. Fulfill your destiny. Take the scroll to the time wound. Do not delay. Alduin will be coming. He cannot miss the signs.
Na, hát info az bőven jött szépen. Nagyon szépen. Tehát fel kell olvasnunk oké, olvassuk fel az ősi tekercset. Gondolom őt. Hoppá!
Today Alduin's lordship will be restored. But I honor your courage. Krifwolf Akrin. Die now in vain.
Gondolom, ezek szerintem múltban vagyunk. Ezek itt, na, hamikázzak egymást. Itt a következő, oké. Hogy? Jó, azt egy kicsit felbeszúrta.
Hakon! A glorious day, is it not?
Have you no thought beyond the blooding of your blade?
What else is there?
Battle below goes ill. If Alduin does not rise to our challenge, I fear all may be lost.
You worry too much, brother. Victory will be ours.
Why does Alduin hang back? We've staked everything on this plan of yours, old man.
He will come. He cannot ignore our defiance. And why should he fear us even now?
Remek valami.
We blooded him well. 4 of his kin have fallen to my blade alone.
But none have yet stood against Alduin himself. Galthor, Sori, Birka.
They did not have Dragon Rend. Once we bring him down, I promise, I will have his head.
You do not understand. Alduin cannot be slain like a lesser dragon. He is beyond our strength. Which is why I brought the Elder Scroll.
Feldir, we agreed not to use it.
I never agreed. And if you are right, I will not need
We'll
it.
deal with Alduin ourselves. Here and now.
We shall see soon enough. Alduin approaches.
Oké. A buli kezdődik. Ott jött. Megjött.
Let those that watch from Sovngarde envy us this day.
Akkor várjál. Aha. Kimondták a hatalom szót. Az ott lenyomja.
If I die today, it will not be in terror.
Csapkodják, mert az ott úgy leszorítja őt.
Skyrim will be free.
Aha. Csalja végzett.
Sister Hawk, grant us your sacred breath to make this contract heard.
A faszival is végezni
Be
fog.
gone, World Eater. My words with older bones than your own. We break your perch on this age and send you out. You are banished. Help you out of all our endings unto the last.
Hopp, elűzik. Aha. A tekercse. Jó, tekercset használva nem. A sárkány szó. Azt csak leszorította.
Yes, the World Eater is gone. May the spirits have mercy on our souls.
Oh! Ez itt van. Megjelent. Miért támadt ez meg? Vajjaj. Na szóval, szó. Sárkányrész. De győzni nem hiszem. Hol van?
I will feast on your soul and Sovngarde.
Várj, ezt éppen, hogy túléltük. És ha jól láttam, ezért nyomott ránk, úgyhogy... Ez a másik sárkány is küzd vele. Aha. Ez kemény meccs lesz. Úgy nézem. Merre szándékozik megjelenni? Ott van. Jó, én használtam. Jöjjön erre. Kemény a menet. Hol vagy? Hol az Istenben vagy? Minden rombolódik le. Terület elkapott ez a valami. Jók vagyunk, csak nem annyira. Jöhetne ide. Jöhetne közelebb is. ezt akarom. Az egykezest akarom megnézni, mert szerintem... Aha. Jó. Ez nem sikerült. Nem fogjuk kapni. Most álljon meg. Hopp, nem akarok leesni. Jó. Azért ne essünk már le. Ó, ez most egészen sokat veszített el. Hoppá. Jó, ez kellett a másik sárkány is. Hogy? Most mi történt? Szegénykem, ő is megsérült. Menj el! Jó, ott talán jobban tudunk beszélni, akkor közelebb vagy.
Lot Kongrach. You truly have the voice of a Dova. Alduin's allies will think twice after this victory. Nilivrach Moro. True, this is not the final Krongra victory, but not even the heroes of old were able to defeat Alduin in open
Jó, de ez kellett, és nagyon sokat sebeztél rajta a sárkány tüzede.
Alduin always was Pahlok, arrogant in his power. Uznagar Par. He took domination as his birthright. This should shake the loyalty of the Dove who serve him. Yes, one of his allies could tell us Matmahus, but it will not be so easy to convince one of them to betray him. Perhaps the Hafkasayun, the palace in Whiterun, Dragon's Reach. It was originally built to house a captive Dova. A fine place to trap one of Alduin's allies, hmm? Yes, but your Sum is strong. I do not doubt that you can convince him of the need. Yes, this was ages ago, you understand. There were more of us then. Before the Bruniki, the Akaviri came and killed all my Zema. I used to visit him from time to time, nearly crazed by loneliness and captivity. Tiraz Sivaz. He did not even remember his own name. I do not know how he came to be caught, but the Bronyun, the Jarl, was very proud of his pet, Pak. The Hofkossayun has been known as Dragon's Reach ever since. I have taught the way of the voice for centuries, and the Thum since long before that. But no, Dovahkiin. Others do not come here to train anymore. Saran, you are the first in over 100 years. I meditate on the Rotmulag, the words of power. I counsel in their use. It is enough for me. Knowing a word of power is to take its meaning into yourself. Contemplate the meaning of a Rotmulag. You will become closer to that word as it fills your inner self. Will I teach you, Dovahkiin? What word calls you to deeper understanding? There are 3 to master. Fus, Faim, and Yol.
Hát ettől nem lettünk okosabb, hogy melyik, ugye?
It is called force in your tongue, but as you push the world, so does the world push back. Think of the way force may be applied effortlessly. Imagine but a whisper pushing aside all in its path. That is Fus. Let its meaning fill you. Sum Ark Mora. You will push the world harder than it pushes back. Which calls to you, Dovahkiin? Fade in your tongue. Mortals have greater affinity for this word than the dove. Everything mortal fades away in time, but the spirit remains. Ponder the meaning of spirit, Unslad Zi. Where mortal flesh may wither and die, the spirit endures. That is fine. Let that meaning fill you, Sum Ark Mora. You will find that your spirit will give you more strength. Which calls to you, Dova? In your tongue, the word simply means fire. It is change given form, power at its most primal. That is the true meaning of Yol. Solyek, power. You have it, as do all Dove. But power is inert without action and choice. Think of this as the fire builds in your sum, in your breath. Sum Ark Mora. What will you burn? What will you spare? Sum Ark Mora.
Na jól van. Hát akkor mostan azt hiszem, hogy egy olyan ponthoz érkeztünk, ami egy mérföldkő a történetben. Menjünk a sárkány tamlachoz. És beszéljünk a járról.
Damn those gray mains to oblivion. They wanna back the stormcloaks. Get what's coming.
Rorik stayed nice enough to the hamlet. May the gods watch over your battles, friend.
I must have misheard you. I thought you asked me to help you trap a dragon in my palace. Of course.
Pontosan erre.
You already saved Whiterun from that dragon. I owe you a great deal.
Gyorsan beleegyezett.
But I don't understand. Why let a dragon into the heart of my city when we've been working so hard to keep them out? Alduin, the World Eater himself. But how can we fight him? Doesn't his return mean it's the end times? I didn't say anything about giving up. Now what's this nonsense about trapping a dragon in my palace? I want to help you, Dragonborn, and I will, but I need your help first. Ulfric and General Tullius are both just waiting for me to make a wrong move. Do you think they will sit idle while the dragon is slaughtering my men and burning my city? No. I can't risk weakening the city while we are under the threat of enemy attack. I'm sorry. Then I would be glad to help you with your mad dragon-trapping scheme, but getting both sides to agree to a truce will be difficult at this point. The bitterness has gone too deep.
Akkor mi a kívánság?
What of the Greybeards? They are respected by all Nords. High Hrothgar is neutral territory. If the Greybeards were willing to host a peace council, then maybe Ulfric and Tullius would have to listen.
Oké. Megpróbáljuk.
Dragonborn. Maybe you can stop the dragons.
Szerintem sikerülni fog.
This war into the bargain. According to legend, although I never thought to put the tale to the test, Jarl Olaf One-Eye it was, who later became High King. They say he shouted it into submission in single combat atop Mount Anthor, and brought it back to Whiterun. Numenex was the dragon's name. That's his skull decorating the main hall. If it's the war you're referring to, among the... No doubt General Tullius and his friends in the Empire will tell you that Ulfric Stormcloak would say that I owe my allegiance to the Nord. The day might come when I am forced to draw my sword for one side or the other. But that day has not come yet. No doubt he thought it was the only way to make his point. And also because he knew he could. With good planning and constant vigilance. Even now, my court wizard, Farengar. We must also have ample reserves of water to combat the fires that will... But our greatest weapon? Courage. For if... Until brave heroes step forward to destroy these monsters, That is the... My men will be ready when you are Dragonborn. You have a truce to arrange first, eh?
Ó, persze, persze. Csak bepróbálkoztam.
Now, if you don't mind, I've got a city to keep.
Annyit a dolog. Felmész. Akkor itt kell most egy kicsit béketárgyalnunk. Mármint, hogy rávenni, hogy itt legyen a béketárgyalás. Ki is mehetünk persze. Várjál csak, te ide föl lehet nem jutni valahogy, nem? Itt. És erre fogta magát és visszament. Vaj. Végre följutottam hozzá, erre
Alduin, we heard the dragon shout from here. You defeated him? I feared as much. I thought it was him we saw flying east after your battle. We are not warriors. What is overlooked in the Dragonborn is not permitted to any other followers of the way of the voice. You misunderstand our authority. The Greybeards have never involved themselves in political affairs. I see. The dragon will lead you to Alduin, but without the Jarl's help. Paarthurnax has made the decision to help you. This is the road we have to walk. Even the Greybeards must bend to the winds of change, it seems. So be it. Tell Ulfric and General Tullius that the Greybeards wish to speak to them. We will see if they still remember us. The old tales say that he can travel into Sovngarde to devour the souls of the dead. You must find out how he does this before he regains his strength and returns. Deliver the message to the warring parties. If they will listen, I will do what I can to bring them to terms. Win.
Oké, akkor rávettük. Röviden és tömören.
Wait. I know.
Ez engem nem érdekelt, hogy te honnan és mint ismersz engem.
We've intercepted.
Whatever you've heard I can do is probably true.
A great pleasure on the white one.
Majd jönne.
And what would you have me do?
If he's... Hell then, Rolfric told us quite the story. If you made it through all that, you're likely worth something to me. But first, tell me, why does a lizard want to fight for Skyrim? Watch yourself out there.
They all know that.
Erre,
How long are you going to wait?
figyelj, állj
You
már
think I
meg.
need to send Bolt? Speak with Galmar. He'll size you up and see where we can best use your talents. Not entirely true, though not entirely false either. Any Nord can learn the way of the voice by studying with the Greybeards, given enough ambition and dedication. My shouting Tord to the ground proved he had neither. However, it was my sword piercing his heart that killed him. We're fighting because we're done bleeding for an empire that won't bleed for us. Untold numbers of Nords died defending the empire against the Dominion. And for what? Skyrim being sold to the Thalmor so the Emperor could keep his throne. We're fighting because our own Jarls, once strong, wise men, have become fearful and blind to the people's suffering. We're fighting because Skyrim needs heroes, and there's no one else
Jó,
but
higgadj
us.
egy kicsikét.
I killed Torrid to prove our wretched condition. How is the High King supposed to be the defender of Skyrim if he can't even defend himself? Indeed, Elisif has become Jarl of Solitude. Historically and conveniently home of the High King, backed by Imperial interests. But the Moot has not yet met to name her High Queen. And they won't. Not as long as I have any say in it. There hasn't been a true High King in Skyrim for generations. For too long, he's been hand-picked by the Emperor, and given emphatic nods by milk-drinking Jarls addicted to Imperial coin. It's time we had a real High King, one of our own making. My father, the Great Bear of Eastmarch, died during my imprisonment after the Markarth incident. I, his only son, forced to deliver his eulogy via letter I had smuggled out of prison. Such is the love of Titus meat for his subjects. When finally set free, I returned to Windhelm and was greeted by a city in mourning, at one with my own grief and anger, clamoring in angry voices, calling out for justice, for war. They sat me on the throne of Ysgramor, the throne of my father. I only hope I can prove worthy of that honor. Soon enough, we will march on Solitude, and on that day the heroes of Sovngarde will march with us, and the Empire will fall to its knees in fear. It's about time they turned their gaze from the heavens back to our bleeding homeland. What do they want? I have the greatest respect for the Greybeards, of course, and the dragon attacks are a growing plague. But the political situation is still delicate. Not all the Jarls are fully committed to supporting me as High King. I can't afford to appear weak. I can't agree to this unless Tullius himself will be there. Alduin, the world eater of song and legend. If that's true, well, it changes the situation, doesn't it? Even Tullius may be forced to talk sense in the face of such a threat.
Na,
Yes,
akkor jó
I'll
van,
give Tullius
akkor ezt
one more
komolyan
chance to quit Skyrim with his tail between his legs.
I had expected Ysgramor city to be bigger.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful.
earnestly. So,
Wait.
Jó.
Hey, you're the one who killed Elaine de Font up in Ralvatar. Oh yeah.
Várjál, beszélj tábornokkal.
we've intercepted. Sorry,
Ez kint van.
The Empire is putting a great deal of on the White Run.
And what would you have to do?
If he's not with us,
I was...
Hops, igen, magányvárába. Azaz eszembe jutott, hogy itt van. Na, náhogy éjszaka jutottunk ide.
You hear the news? The Emperor has been murdered. Right here in Skyrim. By the gods.
Tell me again why I'm wasting men chasing out a fairy tale.
If Ulfric gets his hand on that crown, it won't be a fairy tale. It'll be a problem.
Don't you Nords put any stock in your own traditions? I thought the Moot chose the king. We're backing Elisith. When the Moot meets, they'll do the sensible thing.
Not everyone's agreed.
by the gods, the Emperor's been murdered on his own ship, moored in the Indic. It was the Dark Brotherhood.
So
There's
what?
nothing we can
Ulfric
do.
gets this crown and then suddenly he's High King?
No, it's not as simple as that. But the jagged crown would be a potent symbol for his cause to rally around. But if we found it
Hogy
first,
térdelget
And we gave it to
tábornok?
Elisith.
Biztos ilyen gyakorlat.
in the
menet
absence
közben.
of the moot, it would further legitimize her claim.
Perhaps. I'm entrusting you with what resources I can spare. But I'm warning you, if this turns out to be a waste of time and men,
It won't be a waste.
make sure you take the auxiliary here. You can send him back when you get there and find nothing but old bones and cobwebs.
The Stonefist's no fool. He's found the crown, but we'll get to it first. Welcome back, soldier. I'm glad you made it in one piece. I'll send men to garrison the fort right away. You did well. I'm impressed. But before we go any further, it's time for you to officially join the Legion.
Nem, nem.
Speak with General Tullius. He'll administer the oath.
In joining the Legion, you'll be taking an oath binding you to the service of the Emperor
Nem
and thus
csatlakozom.
to every citizen of the Empire. Are you prepared to make that commitment? I see. Well, the lead... Consider this. What greater glory than to serve the Emperor and his citizens here in Skyrim, in these days of greatest need?
The Stonefist's no fool.
Changed your
He's
mind?
found-
Decided you want to soldier for the Empire after all.
Nem. Most
Go on.
akarok. De miért nem enged, basszus?
Changed your mind? Decided you want to soldier for the Empire after all. I see.
De
Well, the
írted,
Legion
nem ezt
will
akarom
still
tőle
be here when you
kérdezni.
change your mind.
A küldetésre
Pick up
szeretnék
leads
tovább
in you,
menni.
and I'm starting to see why. Consider this. What greater glory than to serve the Emperor and his citizens here in Skyrim, in these days of greatest need? Changed your mind. decided you wanted to
Beragadt
soldier
egy
for the
küldetés, csókolom.
after all.
Off the coast, a ways to the east, you'll find a record of brine.
Azért, mert véletlenül egy másikat korábban elkezdtünk.
Go fiddling with any luck. Tell me again why I'm wasting men chasing after.
What is it?
If Ulf gets his hand on that crown, it won't be a fairy tale.
Changed your mind?
It'll be a prophet.
Decided you want. Don't you Nords
Okay.
put any stock in your own traditions? I thought the
Something
mood
to
chose
report?
the king.
All right then.
Backing Ellison. When the mood meets, they'll be the sense complete.
Stay sharp. Not sure you belong here, citizen. Until next time.
Follow our hearts.
Changed your mind? Decided you wanted to soldier for the Empire after all.
De most komolyan nem akarok csatlakozni a légióhoz.
It's not as simple as that, but the jagged.
What is it?
Tudod, mit tudok csinálni? Szerintem egyszerűen azt, hogy... Nem, mert ne kényszerítsen be, és ezért fogok. Gyerekek, ezért fogok. Nem mondja meg senki erőltetetten. Ide, oda kapcsolódunk felkeléshez. Bukjuk el, hát érdekel is.
Don't be so sure of that.
Na, gyere ide.
We've intercepted couriers from Solitude. The Empire is
Yeah.
putting a great deal of pressure on the White Run.
And what would you have to do?
If he's not with us, he's against us.
De most
I don't know how you convinced Ulfric to talk to the Empire. Worse than a waste of time, if you ask me.
He knows that. They all know that.
How long are you going to wait?
I'll come to you. You think I need to send Bolgraf a stronger message?
I don't know how you... If by message you
Nem
mean
enged.
shoving a sword through his gullet.
Taking his city and leaving him in disgrace would make a more powerful statement, don't you think?
So we're ready to start this war in earnest then.
Soon.
I still say you should take them all out like you did dead King Torrik.
Torrik was merely a message to the...
I don't know how you convinced
Whoever we replace them with will need to support.
Worse than a waste of time if you... We're ready when you are.
Things hinge on White Run. If we can take the city
gyerekek,
without bloodshed,
nagyon nem bírom, amikor így
that. If not,
The people are behind you.
szó szerint nem enged, hogy
many
ezt
I
csinálja.
fear still need convincing.
Then let them die.
Szó szerint nem engedi, most várok. Nem engedi, hogy
Their false king.
a saját döntésemet hozzam.
I don't know how you convinced Ulfric to talk
Ezt
to
már
the
elindítottuk.
Empire. Worse than
People are still weighing things in their hearts.
what's left of Skyrim to wage.
Wait. Go fiddling with any locks around.
Itt van. Csatlakozz. Csatlakoznék, de nem tudok beszélni. Beszélj a tábornokkal. De nem tudok beszélni a tábornokkal, mert az meg állandóan azt akarja, hogy majd tegyek le valami esküt. Amit meg nem akarok. Na jó. Úgy látom, kénytelenek eszünk letenni az esküt.
Good to have you by
Nem
my
tudok mit
side.
csinálni.
I need reliable people around. You see those warriors from Hammer?
Tell me again why I'm wasting men chasing after a...
If Alfred
Changed your mind? Decided you want to
Jó,
soldier
lépjünk
for the
tovább, jó?
Empire after all. Well, upon my honor, I do
Jó, bla bla bla
unwavering.
bla bla bla.
May those above judge me, and those below take me, if I fail in my duty. Long live the Emperor. Long live. Welcome to... Just remember, we take care of our own. What? Speak to Baron. He's normally out by the fort. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Legate Ricka has...
Don't you Nords put any stock in your own traditions? I thought the Moot chose the king.
We're backing Ellis. By holding on to Falkreath, we control access. The Graveyard. What do those old hermits want with me? Why, there's nothing to discuss as long as that traitor Ulfric is in arms against his rightful emperor. They are getting to be a problem, but I wasn't sent to Skyrim to fight dragons. My job is to quell this rebellion, and I intend to do just that, dragons or no dragons. You may have a point. It's getting difficult to even move troops around without attracting a dragon attack. By all accounts, the Stormcloaks are suffering just as badly. Even Ulfric might see the sense of a truce under these
Egy hülye hiba miatt lettünk birodalmiak.
Yes, fine. I'll come to this Greybeard Council. For all the good it will do.
Akkor viszont nem fogom a birodalmiak közöttesét így végigcsinálni. Ezzel így most eldölt.
You've been here long enough to know that Nords aren't always sensible. We follow our hearts.
So what? Ulfric gets this crown and then suddenly he's High King?
Ezek eldöntik, hogy mi lesz itt. Berágtam. Berágtam. Akaratunk ellenére lettünk azok, amik... Mindegy.
You've done it. Men of violence are gathered here in these halls whose very stones are dedicated to peace. I should not have agreed to host this council. The Greybeards have no business involving ourselves in such matters. Peace? I doubt it. They may put their weapons down for a moment, but only to gather strength for the next bloodletting. They are not yet tired of war. Far from it. Do you know the ancient Nord word for war? Season unending. And so it has proved. But regrets are pointless. Here we are. Take your seat at the council table, and let us see what wisdom we can find among these warriors of Skyrim. Take your seat, and we can begin.
So, Arngeir, is it? You know why we're here. Are you going to let us in or not?
You're not invited here. You're not welcome here.
No.
We have as much right to be at this council as all of you. More, actually, since we were the ones that put the Dragonborn on this.
Tényleg szükség van erre, gyerekek?
Hubris of the Blades truly knows no bounds.
Ennyit a békességre, ugye? Békérő paposz, baszki.
Alduin must be stopped. You wouldn't have called this council if you didn't agree. We know a great deal about the city and the threat that Alduin poses. You need us here if you want this council to succeed.
Breaker közben.
Very well.
Come on. Békérő papol a csávó, majd utána ki akarja dobni őket. Na jó, én leültem.
Now that everyone is here, please take your seats so we can begin. I hope that we have all come here in the spirit
You
of...
insult us by bringing her to this negotiation? Your chief Talos hunter?
That didn't take long.
Here, here.
I have every right to be at this negotiation. I need to ensure that nothing is agreed to here that violates the terms.
No mondjuk igen, ez egy jó kérdés, hogy mi ez mi a pöccsöt keresi.
Imperial delegation. You can't dictate who I bring to this council.
Please, if we have to negotiate the terms of the negotiation, we will never get anywhere. Perhaps this would be a good time to get the Dragonborn's input on this matter.
What do you think? Are we going to let Ulfric dictate terms to us before the negotiations even start?
Egyébként... Őszinte legyek? Igen, semmi keresni valója.
Maybe so, but we shouldn't be making concessions before negotiations even start. Makes us look weak. I guess I'll defer to your judgment on this one, but I think it's a mistake.
Annak nincs keresni vele.
Enjoy your petty victory.
Azt a nőt nem
The
akarom
Thalmor
látni.
will treat with whatever government rules Skyrim. We would not think of interfering in your civil war.
Ha! Skyrim will never bow to the Thalmor. Unlike your Imperial friends here.
You're lucky I respect the Greybeard's counsel, Galmar.
Legate, we represent the Emperor here.
Sorry, sir. It won't happen again.
Now that that's settled, may we proceed?
I have something to say first.
Here we go.
The only reason I agreed to attend this council was to deal with the dragon menace. There's nothing else to talk about. Unless the Empire is finally ready to renounce its unjust claim to rule over the free people of Skyrim.
I knew he wouldn't be able to resist.
A temporary truce to allow the Dragonborn here to deal with the dragons, nothing more. I consider even talking to the Empire a generous gesture.
Are you done? Did you just come here to make speeches, or can we get down to business?
Yes, let's get this over with.
Are we ready to proceed? Jarl Ulfric, General Tullian, this council is unprecedented. We are gathered here at the Dragonborn's request. I ask that you all respect the spirit of High Hrothgar. Do your best to begin the process of achieving a lasting peace in Skyrim. Who would like to open the negotiations?
Yes, let's get down to it. We want control of Markarth. That's our price for agreeing to a truce.
So that's why you're here, Ulfric? You dare to insult the Greybeards by using this council to advance your own position?
Jarl Elisif.
General, this is outrageous. You can't be taking this demand seriously. I thought we were here to discuss a truce.
Elisif.
I said I'd handle it.
Ulfric,
you can't seriously expect us to give up Markarth at the negotiating table. You hope to gain in council what you've been unable to take in battle, is that it?
I'm sure Jarl Ulfric does not expect something for nothing.
Yes, that'd be entirely out of character.
Return.
Wait, General, you don't intend to just hand over Markarth to that traitor?
This is how the Empire repays us for our loyalty?
Enough. First, let's be clear. This council wasn't my idea. I think it's a waste of time. You are a traitor to the Empire, and deserve a traitor's death.
But I at least will negotiate in good faith. Since we're all here at your request, I'd like to hear what you think Markarth is worth.
Csajt elküldtük. Hajnal csillag. Vagy Riften. Riften az egy olyan kis pindurka ott.
In exchange for Markarth, the source of most of Skyrim's silver. Hardly. Riften seems like a better choice to me. Well fortified, easily resupplied from across Lake Honrick, plus all the mead we can drink. I'm glad you agree. I was starting to wonder whose side you were on here.
The Dragonborn has spoken, Tullius. Markarth will be ours. Now we'll see if there's anything behind your talk of good faith.
I expected better of you, Dragonborn. You swore an oath to serve the Emperor. Don't forget it. I can see now that this is not a negotiation at
Ja,
all.
már programabba
I know
kényszerített.
you, Ulfric. If I hand over Markarth, you'll be ready with a new demand. You'll never defeat the Empire, and you know it. But you're willing to sacrifice thousands for your own selfish ambition. Soon enough, I'll have you back under the headsman's axe, and this time there won't be any dragon to save you.
As always, the Empire's fine words are worth nothing.
Stop! Are you so blind to our danger that you can't see past your pitiless agreements? Here you sit arguing about nothing, while the fate of the land hangs in the balance.
Is he with you, Delphine? If so, I advise you to tell him to watch his tongue.
Nah, tök igaza van.
He is with me. And I advise you both to listen to what he has to say before you do anything rash.
Don't you understand the danger? Don't you understand what the return of the dragons means? Alduin has returned, the world eater. Even now he devours the souls of your fallen comrades. He grows more powerful with every soldier slain in your pointless war. Can you not put aside your hatred for even one moment in the face of this mortal danger?
I don't know about the end of the world, but this dragon situation has gotten out of hand. If this truce will help the Dragonborn here put an end to that menace, we both gain. Remember that, Ulfric. Now, back to the matter at hand. You know as well as I do that we can't hand over Markarth on these terms.
Swords, bones, where will these demands end?
Let's hear it.
We want compensation for the massacre at Carthwayston.
You slaughtered the very people you claim to be fighting for. True sons of Skyrim would never do such things.
Damned Imperial lies. My men would never stoop to such methods, even in retaliation for your butchery at...
All the blood spilled in this war is on your head.
So, Dragonborn, what do you say? Well said. For once you'll actually pay for your crimes. I suppose that's the fairest deal we're likely to get.
It seems we may have an agreement. Jarl Ulfric,
Te kaptál egy nagy város, te meg és kárpazolsz, kész.
currently on the table. Markarth will be handed over to Ulfric's forces. Jarl Idmund will step down, and Thungvor Silverblood will become the Jarl of Markarth. The Stormcloaks will withdraw from the rift, allowing Imperial troops unhindered access. Jarl Leila Lawgiver will step down, and Maven Blackbriar will become the Jarl of Riften. The Stormcloaks will pay appropriate compensation for the massacre at Carthwayston. You both agree to this?
The sons of Skyrim will live up to their agreements, as long as the Imperials hold the day. What about you, Ellison? Are these terms to your liking? Speak up! I'm sure General Tullius is waiting to do your bidding.
I have nothing to say to that murderer. General, you've proven yourself a good friend to Skyrim. I continue to trust that you will do your utmost to safeguard our interests.
Thank you, Jarl Ellison. I appreciate your loyalty. The Empire can live with these terms, yes, for a temporary truce, until the dragon menace is dealt with. After that, Ulfric, there will be a reckoning. Count on it. Taking control of the rift was a great victory. Ulfric must be rather nervous with us so close to his doorstep.
Come on, Delmar. We have a lot of work to do.
Giving up Markarth is a heavy price for this truce, Dragonborn. I hope it was worth it.
Jarl Balgruuf, I assume you are familiar with the Dragonborn's plans?
Yes, I'm ready to do my part. Just say the word, and my men will help you spring this trap.
But the difficulty remains how to lure a dragon to Dragon's Reach at all.
Well, that's an excellent question. You haven't overlooked that little detail, have you?
Ah, I believe I can do that here. I anticipated the problem. While you were arranging this meeting, I was busy in the library of Skyhaven Temple, an unguessed trove of lost lore. But the important thing is that the blades recorded many of the names of dragons they slew. Cross-referencing this with Delphine's map of dragon burial sites, I believe I've identified one of the dragons that Alduin has raised up. Don't you see? The names of dragons are always 3 words of power, shouts. By calling the dragon with a voice, he will hear you wherever he might be. He's not compelled to, but dragons are prideful in nature and loath to refuse a challenge. Your voice in particular is likely to intrigue this dragon after your victory over Alduin. I think it's very likely that he will be unable to resist investigating your call. Ah, indeed. I'm no master of the voice, like these worthy gentlemen, but it is written here in the scroll. Oda Thing, winged snow hunter, as I read.
Jó, tehát ki kell majd mondanom.
We know it.
Vadász. És szán, sárkányos, mind a 3, szuper.
There's one more thing. We know about Parthenos. Parthenax, the dragon that the Greybeards have been protecting for all these years. He needs to die. He deserves to die. And it falls to you to kill him. Until he's dead. Well, I'm sorry, but we would dishonor our oaths as blades if we continue to help you. Make your choice, Dragonborn. You're either with us or against us. Here's the big picture. He helped Alduin enslave our ancestors. He may have betrayed Alduin in the end, but that makes him worse, not better. We can't afford to give Parthenax the opportunity to betray us in turn and return to his old master. If they had their way, you do nothing but sit up on their mountain with them and talk to the sky. The Greybeards are so afraid of power that they won't
ennyi
use
árulást egy rakással.
Think about it. Have they tried to stop the Civil War or done anything about Alduin? No. And they're afraid of you, of your power. Trust me, there is no need to be afraid. Think of Tiber Septim. Do you think he'd have founded the Empire if he'd listened to the Greybeards?
Nem. Bocsi, de... Nem fogom. Nem kell minden küldetést megcsinálni, szerintem. Nem fogom ezt a sárkányt. Az cuki volt, és segített nekem. Egy másik meg a másik világból segített, szóval nem kell azt gondolni, hogy minden sárkány gonosz. Na jól van, viszont itt most be fogjuk fejezni. És innen folytatjuk legközelebb. Legyetek jók, fiúk, lányok! A történet közeledik a végéhez. Nagyon azt érezzük. Jó, hogy jutottunk el ideig, megtaláljátok a YouTube-on és más végigjátszásokat is. Arról, hogy éltük meg ezeket a végigjátszásokat, pedig rövid, szöveges összefoglalót a blogon, és gyertek a Discordra, ha gondoljátok. Na, szasztok!